Hey, what's up, guys? So I didn't think I was gonna ever make any more of these videos, but uh, I've had some really cool conversations lately, and I don't know, some ideas bounce around my head, and so I figured I'd make a Living the Dream Part 5. So I uh, I think that the the conversation that's been bouncing around my head the most lately is the night before my wedding. It was awesome. We had a ton of people over to the house. We're all hanging out. But I had three of my closest friends sitting around talking, and I'm not exactly sure how their conversation went, but they all like knew like a different version of me. And it was funny because like when they called me out, like I was just like, well, I can't really say that you know that's not true, because like I had different conversations, or I let people see different sides of me depending on how I thought they would react to certain things. And so, one of my buddies, like, he doesn't really judge me all that much on like, well, I mean, he judged me, but I don't know, like I let him know a lot more of my like wild crazy side. I had, one of my buddies that's he's a really good dad, and he's a family man, and he's always been there for me. So like I let him know different things that I didn't let my other buddy know. And it was funny because the third guy I never met before my entire life. He's been talking to me almost every day for about 4 years, and he's a guy that trades stocks with me. And when like for those of you that are actually watching this, the trade stocks, like you'll understand the accountability, buddy. But for everyone else that doesn't understand stock trading, like at the very beginning, everyone's always like, you want to have some person that knows you, that can, kind of help guide you to not do stupid things. And I've had a ton of accountability buddies, but one of them lasted for 4 years, and he's been right there the whole time. Well, the hard part about trading stocks is, which I actually didn't realize until after this conversation, but it really makes you kind of find yourself. It's not that my other buddies didn't they didn't know me, but it's like they knew me in that stage of life, like where I'm still trying to find myself, I guess. But like it's funny because I had like almost like I don't think I've ever had a panic attack ever. But like when you talk to people that have panic attacks or whatever, the way they describe it is kind of what I felt like I was about to have. Because when I first saw him and he got out of his truck, he's like walking over towards me. I was like, oh shit, this guy. I mean, he literally knows everything about me. I mean, the stuff that I've never told anybody before. And the reason I was okay telling him that is because I was never gonna meet this dude ever. He was never gonna come into my like little reality bubble. Like he was just a dude I talked to on the internet. But then the more we started talking about it and stuff, I was just like, damn, dude, like you're like a really really close friend to me. And like it was cool because he didn't judge me. It's funny because all other guys, like really everybody else in my life, I'm always so worried about, you know, oh, I can't tell them this, because if I tell them that, they're gonna think this way or that way or this way. And it's funny because most of the time it's wrong. Like, it was like, I think my my favorite conversation was actually after the wedding. I drove my coach to the airport so he could fly home. But it's funny because I'm like, I know you guys probably all think I'm crazy, and you guys probably like talk mad shit. I was like, but like, thank you for being here at the wedding. And like, we were all laughing, and he's like, oh, we definitely talk shit. Like, you've totally lost your mind. It's like, it was so funny, but like, it kind of goes back to like, my mind coach. It was kind of helping me with trading. He's like, you ever think that people just like you for you? And I feel like this whole journey of like learning how to trade stocks is really kind of opened my eyes to different things. Like, I think my biggest problem has always been that I don't allow people to see the real me, because, well, for in one big area, because I didn't know who I really was in the first place. But like, even when I was trying to figure out bits and pieces of myself, I still hid a lot of myself away from other people, because I was worried that they would judge me, or whatever, and I didn't want to deal with it. But over the last really 3 years, probably 2 3 years, like I've changed a lot, and it's been so interesting because I talk to a lot of people all the time, and I'm like, I have had a lot of ups and a lot of downs in trading stocks, but like, I think that no matter what, I'm unbelievably thankful that I started trading stocks, because I'm very competitive, and especially when somebody tells me that like the odds are so low that you're going to achieve this goal, like that to me made me want to prove that I'll make it. And so, at the very beginning, I had nothing but devastating losses. But that makes you dive deep into yourself, and like, it's such a terrible feeling. But like, I've also felt that before in kickboxing, because you'll start doing good at kickboxing, and I don't think that they're different. But like, when I did kickboxing, I had those devastating feelings of like, man, I cannot believe I just lost this fight. Like, I know that I'm like really really good. Why I lose this fight? But I didn't understand until years later, especially when I started trading stocks, that like, one of my biggest problems is, when I'm trading, I'll take a trade, and like, I'm always thinking about the best outcome. I don't have a plan for like, well, what do I do if shit just hits the fan? Oh, I don't know. I don't have a plan for that. I only have this plan of everything's gonna be perfect. I'm gonna make a ton of money and all this bull crap. Well, I did the same thing in kickboxing. If if I had a really hard fight, and I respected my opponent a lot, then I I would obviously have plans for like, well, I mean, he might come at me guns blazing, be tough as hell, and be a hard fight. And like, I could dig deep on those fights. But the fights where I thought that I was just completely on a different level than the other fighter, and I would lose fights, it's because I was like, oh, I'm going to walk out there and just steamroll over the dude. Well, when that didn't happen, I just panicked, and my brain went, you know, it just didn't fucking work. I just flatlined. And it was funny because like, when I started diving into all this stuff that I've learned in trading stocks, I'm like, man, I really really wish I would have dived more into my mindset when I was fighting, because like at the end, like that's like one of the things that like I was very conflicted in at the very end was, thanks to trading stocks and like the break with COVID and all that crap, that I really thought I was going to be a lot better at fighting, because my mindset was completely different. I was a completely different fighter, but because I had changed my mindset is why I stopped fighting. Is because I love fighting. I loved all that kind of stuff, but like, I don't know, I wanted something new, something different. And like, I also didn't think that like what I had envisioned for the rest of my career, I didn't think that's not how it was going to play out. And so, because that's not how it was going to play out, I was like, well, it's probably better that I just step away now. And I had different things that came up, but it was all these different things that just kind of like aligned when I started trading stocks. Like it made me start thinking about myself differently, and then I luckily was in a good spot back in Kentucky that I was able to invest in certain things. But I honestly believe that the best investment I've ever made in my entire life has been to Steve Goldstein's mind coach. Like, because of his coaching sessions, I feel like I've found myself. He's made me understand who I am as a person, and not like the fake egotistical version that I would like everyone to see, but like the real me. And it's been such a crazy experience, because I feel like I had this image that I wanted to show everybody when I was a kickboxer, that it wasn't real. Like, that's not who, like, there are bits and pieces of myself that, like, were real, but like it was, I don't know, like I thought that if I showed everybody the real version of myself, that I don't know, I would never become successful. I'm like a fighter kid has to be like a stone cold, like, badass. I don't have any feelings. I'm not sad. I'm not hurt. Like, you can't hurt me. You can't make me sad. Like, whatever. But like, the God's honest truth is like there were so many times in my kickboxing career where I remember like right before the fight, like my legs were just shaking like crazy. I was like, dude, this is gonna be crazy. But like, I loved that feeling. I loved scaring the shit out of myself, and I feel like that was also kind of like the thing that kind of ruined, not ruined it, but like that's part of the reason why I was like, all right, well, I'm okay stepping away, because you know I got into a point when I was getting to fight with Glory that it was, I mean, I was fighting on the big stage. I was around all these superstars, the guys that I idolized, and then, well, they obviously couldn't manage shit very well, and so that kind of went away. But then I was going to be back fighting in the smaller tournaments, which are good. That's what built me up. But I wanted the shiny lights and the big crowds and all that kind of stuff, and I was just like, yeah, I don't know. I thought that with COVID, I was like, well, that's probably not gonna happen. So I just stopped. But it was learning about myself, and like, when I did my mind coach thing, he was talking about like he makes you do this psyche valve or whatever that teaches you about your emotions. What kind of I can't even think of what it was called, but like It basically tells you about like your characteristics and like it's not gonna tell you exactly who you are as a person, but like it's pretty freaking close. And when I read the damn thing, I was like, holy shit! I was like, how the hell did your little test know all this stuff about me? And like the funny thing was, when I took the test, I learned a lot about myself from reading that. I was just like, some of the stuff I was just like, no, that's stupid. I'm not like that. I'm not like that at all. And then the more I started thinking about it, I was like, holy shit. Yeah, when I'm being real to myself, that's exactly how I am. But like, it was funny because it's like, especially like after like big losses, it would make me dive deep and just be like, man, what am I doing? I mean, it was such the most, it was like the most just soul wrenching stuff. Like, because I mean, when I first started, like, I like, it's like everything, like in kickboxing, I wasn't scared of a challenge. And like when I saw people making all the money that they're making in the stock market, like it was like a shining new object. I had to go get it. I was like, all right, well, I'm making money now, but you know, I'm using like very small sizes. Like, what if I just use like 10 times the size? I'll make 10 times the money. But I didn't understand the mental capacity that goes into managing that kind of stress. And but then I don't know, I like the only thing that I've really pushed myself a lot in is kickboxing. And so like, when I start working with my mind coach, like a lot of our conversations are kickboxing, trading. And they go back and forth, but it's like, I don't know. It's been such an amazing experience working with Steve. And I wanted to make like a little video, like kind of talking about, how thankful I am. I told him in our last session that I was just like, man, thanks to you, I know who I am as a person. And it's it's almost like I have to like show like people like who I am, because like a lot of my close friends are like, I think the reason they think I'm so crazy is because when I finally started figuring out who the hell I am, it's a lot different than how I've been. I mean, for like the last 10 years. But I asked my mind coach, I was like, hey, I know that these sessions, like, this is your livelihood, and I don't want to do something that would possibly ever, like, steal away from your business. But if you're okay with it, I would really love to share these videos. Well, the videos are stupid long. So they're like an hour and a half. So, well, some of them, most of them, we go over the hour and a half thing. So what I'm thinking about doing is I'm going to start trimming them down and try to make them a little bit shorter. And I don't know how many episodes I want to do, but like I think that's going to kind of start off my podcast. And like, I don't know, whenever I get a feeling to make a video, I'll make a video and throw it on the podcast, and just throw out stuff out there. And what I would really love to do is start talking to other people that, I don't know, that you have a cool story or you're working through something. And so what I did is I went out and I started a Discord room. I started throwing out all these videos that I'm working on, all the full videos of my mind coach sessions are on there. Different videos that I've done. I kind of did like a journal, like while I was going through all this stuff, like a daily journal, and I threw that out on there, and it's allowed people to feel comfortable enough to start talking to me about their own stuff. Unfortunately, they haven't been using the room very much, but them watching the videos has allowed them to feel comfortable enough to reach out to me personally, and we started talking, and I've done a few Zoom meetings and stuff, and it's been a really cool experience, like helping just talking to people. Like really, like we just talk and have good conversations, but like it's been so funny because I think that when I was being so hard on myself, I was like, man, why weren't you completely honest with all your friends or this or that? And I feel like it was just because I didn't know who I really was as a person. But some people know who they are as a person, but they don't allow others to see them for some reason. And I've talked to quite a few people actually, that have that problem where they know who they are, how they are, but they're like, oh, I can't show this person that or this person that because they'll never accept me. And but I've had these conversations like, man, how bad would that be? Like, it's not like you're not showing your friends or just random people that know you, acquaintances, but like you're not showing like your family. Like, how shitty would that be if at the end of their life, they're like, oh, I had such a great relationship with this person, that person, but they didn't even know who the hell you were. And I don't know, like the few conversations I've had like that, they've went out and they've had super deep conversations with their family, and it's been obviously their family was at first was kind of like, what the hell, dude? Like, yeah, or like, what do you mean? Like, like it for like they had all these examples, and the person's like, yeah, I did this or did that or did this, and but like at the end, it always worked out, and it's just like, I don't know. To me, that's a gift. Like you being able to show people like who you really are, and I don't know, like I imagine that me and the handful of people that have reached out to me aren't the only people. So I figured I would throw out this video. Those are people that actually, you know, watch these things and reach out. Everyone like it's like every time I throw out one of these videos, I have a random person that I'm like, I never would have thought in a million years would actually watch these things messages me. So if you're that person, awesome. But I plan on revising my mind coach videos, and I'm gonna start putting them out as a podcast. Those are gonna be the first videos of like, I don't know. It's like I've watched the videos a shit ton of times, and it's crazy because like who I was at the very beginning of the videos and who I am now, it's like, God, I'm so unbelievably thankful to Steve. And I mean, I know he's not the only person that does that, you know? Like, obviously, you got to find somebody that's, like, legit and actually knows what the hell they're talking about. But, it's so funny because I go to somebody to help me with trading, and that's why I was telling him in the very last video. I was like, you've helped me in all areas of life. Thanks to you, like, I am, I've never been so happy in my entire life. And I truly believe that a big portion of that is thanks to Steve. Like, obviously, just because someone tells you some shit doesn't mean that you're going to go do it. So I have to give myself a lot of credit for throwing all this stuff out here. But I don't know, he really helped me out a lot. So this is kind of like a long, I don't know what you're going to get from this video, but this is kind of like my way of saying that diving into your mind and like understanding who you are as a person is probably the best gift I've ever had in my entire life. And I'm unbelievably thankful for it. Like, understanding why, you know, so many times I had conversations with my coach. Man, I don't understand why this happened or why that happened. Like, I know why now. I know through trading and through thinking a lot. Like, I know exactly why I failed at a lot of different things in my fight career, and I wish if I could go back 15 years, the first thing I would do is I would get a legit mind coach. Like, I don't even know if they even existed 15 years ago, but like, I would definitely would have been working on my mindset, because I was a freaking machine. And that's a very good way to put it, because I remember talking to my coach, for anybody that made it this far. But my last fight camp, my last real fight camp, I was a freaking machine. I don't know what clicked in my head, but like, I got serious, because I thought that if I went there and knocked out everybody in the tournament, then my coach would let me go pro, and we would have the dream career that I wanted. I thought that I was gonna be able to achieve that if I gave the results. Like, it finally clicked in my head. It wasn't about the number of fights or whatever. It was about just going there and just wrecking everybody. I was like, oh, okay, watch this. And I was a freaking machine. And I remember talking to my coach, and I was just like, man, I would have killed it in Peru. I would have killed it. He's like, you know, I have no doubt in my mind that you would have killed it in Peru. I do. I have a giant doubt in my mind, because I don't know how my mindset would have been at that in Peru. Going there, I would have been the most insane shape I've ever been in my life. And I could have taken it to a whole different level than anybody else in the tournament, I believe. But I think that it really depended on how my mindset was at that time. And there were so many times in my career where I was just in killer shape that I just couldn't tie my shoes, because my head was thinking about some crazy fight I had it with a girlfriend or a friend or a family member or work, or my dog was sick, or whatever. I didn't have my mind right, and that would have made a huge difference. So I don't know. I think that everything happens for a reason. I think that the reason I have, I don't know, these weird urges to make these videos is there's a reason behind it. And one of my buddies down here, he was talking about things. Videos are like therapy to me. So anybody that's actually watched this far, thank you very much for being my free therapist, and please do not bill me. But yeah, I mean, if you got, like, I would love like some interactions with this, or like, if you like these videos, share them and message me. Talk to me about. I mean, I'm throwing out everything out there. Like, I'm not gonna judge you for whatever. So yeah, just reach out. Or if you're working through something, like, I don't know, I've talked to a lot of different people about it. That's the craziest thing, is I throw these videos out there, and it's just like, people tell me stuff that I'm like, holy crap. Like, all right, well, I don't know. Like, and it's been very eye-opening, you know. I'm very grateful for everything I have in my life, and the people that I'm they're getting something out of these videos. It's cool. So anyways, I hope you guys have a good day. Sorry for the long video. I'll edit those videos, and I'll start posting them here in the next month or so. Adios.